Helldivers are freedom-spreading, bug-killing, robot-fighting, explosion-saluting, unyielding warriors of managed democracy. They'll kill me for saying this, but I'm starting to think that maybe it's not a democracy. Helldivers are the military of the glorious Super Earth, otherwise known as the home of liberty, freedom, and managed democracy. Helldivers 2 is a game where you play as one of these. The first game was a top-down shooter that was nowhere near as successful. However, we certainly have it to thank for this beautiful successor. This game has taken the gaming world by storm, hitting third by current players on Steam. The game has been so successful that despite the developers' best efforts, the servers are always at max capacity, which as of this video is 450,000 players. For reference, there are only 3 games on Steam right now that have over 200,000 players. And this doesn't even include the players on PlayStation. The general gameplay is nothing groundbreaking. You set up your loadout, you click on a planet to liberate, you get in the Hellpod, land on the planet, complete the objectives while fighting off enemies, and then extract if you can. So what's going on? Why is this game that no one knew about now the center of attention? Well, if you ask anyone who plays, the answer is that it's just fun, and they are objectively correct. But what stands out? Well, from my personal experience, I've made a list of 4 identifiable aspects of the game that I think are universally agreed upon to be what makes it so good. Number 1, community. Much like a game some of you may know called Deep Rock Galactic, there's a very strong sense of community in the lines for Super Earth. This is a PvE game, meaning that we're all working together to fight the bugs and the robots, but it goes even further than that. This game has a unique system around the universe that the game is played in, where every group of people that finish a mission add a small amount, almost negligible amount of impact to a planet. But when we have about 200,000 people on one planet, these add up, and over time of about a day, the community can fully liberate a planet and push back the enemies. It gives a sense of accomplishment to see that our missions don't just help the player individually, but the entire player base. With all these community aspects baked into the game, it's not hard to feel like you're a part of something bigger, and people really love that. For a lot of people, I imagine this provides some solid escapism, as well as feeling some sort of extra purpose in their gaming lives. A very strong combination. Number 2, gameplay loop. This one may seem obvious, but the gameplay is just really fun. It surprisingly caters to multiple types of players. Both of the ones that want to fight endless hordes of enemies while just barely surviving in the name of democracy, as well as the ones that are fully aware of their lack of numbers and play sort of a guerrilla warfare, which is probably the most optimal way to play. But no matter how you're playing the game, it still has the underlying stress that holds your attention and immerses you in the game. The most important part, though, is that the stress isn't a painful stress. You're not wanting to rip your hair out. It's something that needs to be experienced to understand fully, but the important part is that death is not the end of the mission, but you still have the feeling of not wanting to die. The game has such an addictive gameplay loop that I really hope other games can capture the pacing and feeling of it in other styles. Third, the setting. This game feels good to play. There's really nothing that takes you out of the moment. It feels like every aspect of the game is made with player immersion in mind. Even the minimap is on a wrist screen that you have to press a button to see. It's in everything, all the way from finishing a mission to starting another one and getting in the Hellpod. It really makes you feel like Batman. When you're on the battlefield, you can tell. You actually feel like you're outnumbered and at a serious disadvantage. The game captures the vibe almost perfectly. I don't think I've played a game that has given me the feeling of being so small on the battlefield, but still being enough to accomplish the objective. This again is something that is best understood after you experience it, but if you have seen clips, then I'm sure you understand how deep in the trenches we are. There are a ton of different planets, so the maps feel really diverse, enough to prevent the scenery from getting stale, and the game is downright beautiful in certain areas. Number 4, a serious comedy. While the game is very much a harsh war simulator, the rampant propaganda provides a comedic aspect to all of it. The game does not try to make you feel stronger than you are. It lets you know that you're nothing but an expendable soldier, and the lack of respect that anything has for you is hilarious. Even your own turrets will shoot you if you're in the way of their fire. There's no flashing lights telling you that a missile's about to hit you. You get one warning from the person who threw the beacon, and that's it. But there's no penalty if you want to be a martyr and drop a 500 kilogram bomb at your feet. The comedy of the game doesn't feel forced at all. and you don't get heavily punished for doing something stupid. You are what you want to be, and that freedom allows for some very beautiful and hilarious moments. I feel like I could praise this game on and on. I think Helldivers 2's success is brought on from just focusing what they wanted their game to be and capitalizing on that. I mean, the very minuscule amount of microtransactions in the game is a wonderful bonus. The only complaint I can really have is about the servers, but even then, it's unreasonable. Their first game capped at 6,000 players at its peak on Steam. For this game to have blown up the way it did, there's no way for the devs to have been ready for this. But they have been breaking their backs to try to keep up, staying up late, waking up early to fix problems as fast as possible. The clear communication from the devs is another green flag for the game. The next video I post will be a lore video if you want even more info about the game, so stay tuned. See ya!